My name is Brianna Rudder, and in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to pre-section your hair for knotless box braids. So for starters, you want to make sure that you have a clean middle part at the very top of your head, and then you're going to part going from ear to ear. So as you can see here, I'm parting on the right side first. So after you begin parting your actual top sections, you're then going to begin parting the back of your head. Make sure that when you're parting your hair, you use a rat tail comb. You may be wondering why. That's because if you use the teeth of the comb to part your actual layers, your part won't be as smooth. When you use a rat tail comb, it makes your part a lot more neat and sharp. So I'm just going to clean up my part with the rat tail comb before I begin braiding. Now, in order to keep your hair section out of the way, you want to make sure that you actually braid a cornrow braid. So I'm going from one side of my head to the next, and I'm just braiding very loosely. You don't have to braid tight because you're actually going to take down these braids once you begin braiding each layer. This technique is called pre-sectioning or pre-braiding for your box braids. You can do this with any type of box braids or individual styles, whether you're going to be doing regular box braids, knotless box braids, Senegalese twists, or whatever type of individual style you want to do. This helps speed up your braiding time because you don't have to part individual boxes every time you part your hair. You can just take down one of your braided layers and then you can begin parting it in boxes. So as you see this developing, you will see more of what I mean. This definitely speeds up your braiding process, like I said, because you don't have to pre-part each individual section. So now we're going to begin finish braiding the very back, and as you can see, I'm going from ear to ear. Now once I'm at the front of my head, I like to make sure that my parts match the back. So as you can see here, I'm parting to make sure it's lined up, so it's literally going all the way around my head. Then I clip my hair and begin braiding, as you can see here. So I like to braid going towards the section, but really you can braid going towards your face if you want to. Really, to each their own. You just want to make sure that all of your parts match up. If you want to have very neat looking box braids or parts for your styles, make sure that all of your parts actually line up so that your braids don't look too off-center. So I also make sure to include my edges when I'm braiding. You don't have to do this. You can actually leave out about ½ an inch of your hairline in the front, so that way you won't have to braid your edges, especially if you have very frail or very thin edges. You don't want to braid them into your individual braids because it'll be just a little bit too much tension. So if you do decide to braid your edges, it needs to be based on how healthy your edges are. If your edges are not that healthy, then just leave them out by just combing them forward. So as you can see, I'm braiding the sections in the front towards my face just because it's a little bit easier. You can braid it going back if you want to, but I decided to braid it going forward. And make sure you have enough of these clips so that way you can pin your sections down so that it's not tangled with other sections. This technique of doing pre-sectioning for your braids speeds up so much. If it usually takes you about 5 to 6 hours to do your own box braids, this will literally allow you to do your braids in only 3 hours to 4 hours. It almost puts the time in half because parting actually takes a good percentage of the time when braiding your box braids, especially if you want your braids to be more on a small to medium size. I would consider my box braids to be about medium size, but if you want them to be smaller or even bigger, you can still do this technique to help speed up the time it takes when parting your hair. So now that the left side is done, I went ahead and finished the right side so that I can complete my pre-parted braid pattern base. So all of my braids are softly and gently braided. They're not tight at all because I'm going to take them down to do my braids. So I'm just doing a really quick spin around so that you can see how it looks. Now, don't be discouraged by all of the clips. They're just placeholders. Once you're ready to begin parting or braiding that section, you just remove them and braid. This is how the braids look in the back with just 3 sections. And also I did the brick layering method so that way a braid is actually in the middle of a part of a previous section. This allows for more fullness. So if you want to know more in detail why I do this technique, be sure to subscribe and follow me because I got some amazing tutorials coming next, and I want you to see this beautiful knotless box braids hairstyle that I did on myself because I want to teach you how you can do the same. Also, if you're interested in becoming a full-time YouTuber like me, then I made an online course called YouTube University, where I teach you all the ins and outs of how to become a full-time YouTuber. If you're interested, links are in the description below. I'll catch y'all next time. Bye.